tonight's main event will now be for the new Superstars Championship.
Here we go. The Superstars of Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, a beautiful championship belt. Dick Durning. Why is Dick Durning in wrestling gear for this championship match? The man's back. Oh no, what is this? Oh, the Hollywood Heathens, what are they doing? Ring the bell, Coach.
America, Dick Durning, Bandana, and the muscle piece Wesley Pipes. Four-way match for the title in a ladder match.
Like this. It can't end like this. No! You know what, Durning? I've been waiting years to get my hands on you. And it's not gonna be you, Dick. It's gonna be you, Trice. Make them count! 1, 2, 3, yes! Dick Durning is the new Superstars of Wrestling Champion!
Winner in this match, and still
no!
Superstars of Wrestling Champion!
Gary Daniels, why?
Pipes, you escaped me twice. I hope you finish this in a dog collar match.
Your challenger, he is your challenger and the ace of Maritime Wrestling, Dick Durning!
This is a man possessed. You see him wearing that dog collar, and the last 7 months have been the trials of Durning. First, in June, Wesley Pipes betrayed him and turned his back on a 23-year friendship. Then in September, he brutalized his son, Giles Durning. After that, he put a 7-foot-tall, 300-pound hit on Dick with Giant Orion, brutalizing Dick Durning to try to soften him up. Then we had the first title match where RJ Hooper unfortunately cost Dick the match. And then we had the last one where I think Gary intentionally cost Dick the match.
Durning almost wearing that collar with pride.
Superstars of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He is the Muscle Beast from Muscle Beach. He is Wesley Pipes!
You look at Durning's right arm. It's covered. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. And I think what we're about to see is a horror movie come to life. Look at this, Travis. Look who's with.
Gary Daniels. He claims that Dick Durning's shoulders were down. I say the man on top of a lateral press to get the pinfall, but I'm not the general manager. I'm not the official. But I think, for one, Gary Daniels screwed Dick Durning.
Hey, all shoulders were down. You know, say what you want about favoritism. That was the right call. All 4 shoulders were down in that match. But here's the thing. Gary Daniels in the corner of Wesley Pipes. I'm kind of surprised.
So we'd think our general manager would be impartial, but he is behind the muscle beast. I think that's a conflict of interest. But here we go. Kotsab, a dog collar match. One of the most violent stipulations in all of professional wrestling. I think of Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine at Starrcade 83. I think of the Briscoe brothers and FTR in 2022. I think of MJF and CM Punk. Or CM Punk's both his matches with MJF and Raven. It is pure violence. It signals the end of something. It signals finality. What would you say about this?
It's brutality is what it is, and you can hear the chain, the sound it's making. That is steel. That is metal. The other thing, too, that not a lot of people talk about in a dog collar match, Travis, is everyone talks about the dangerousness of the chain. Think of having the whiplash, your neck being yanked on by a near 300-pounder.
These are big men. And even with that chain around his neck, Durning able to connect with that drop kick. There's been so much that has gone on between these two, and I just want to see it come down between these two. No heathens. With respect to RJ, no Gary, none of this nonsense. No John O'Ryan, just Dick and Wesley Pipes. Oh, and that chain.
And don't forget, no Dryce either.
Yeah, because
he's already stuck his nose into one match earlier.
Would you stop? It was so insidious of Pipes to try to use his son to get to Dick Durning. Try to use Dick Durning's son. Handcuffed both Durning and his son to the ropes and absolutely laid a beating on them. And Dick Durning with a crossbody.
Oh, hard to see from this angle, but I think Pipes' knee kind of buckled there. The midsection took most of the impact, but from this angle, it looked like Pipes' left knee may have been torqued.
It could be. And you see Dick Durning with his fist balled up and using Matt Pettifer as his shield. Absolutely disgusting from Wesley Pipes. And Pipes, with that right hand wrapped around the chain, drops Durning. And Josh, it's worth noting, Dryce be damned in that match, the reverse decision.
Sorry, Travis, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think, as we say in the biz, we've got some color.
Oh, no. It's already, the brutality of this match already shown its ugly head. But, you know, as much as you say I give Pipes grief, I have to give him credit. He has never been pinned or submitted in Superstars of Wrestling. The closest was Dryce, as we saw, and that was a reverse decision. This man, in the history books, no pinfall losses, no submission losses.
He's like Clubber Lang come to life. He can't be beat. He won't be beat.
I used to hold Pipes in such high regard. I would call him the King Kong of St. John. And he is a monster in this match right now, looming over Dick, stomping a mud hole in Dick Durning, and Durning busted open so early in this match, able to use the chain for leverage to trip Pipes, though.
And it did not take long for Durning to get busted open. Make that 2 Durnings in less than a year busted open by Wesley Pipes.
Wesley Pipes has given this family so much grief, so much turmoil, and hopefully it ends tonight.
Pipes looks like a literal pit bull with that collar on.
It's true. You know, we say it. He's a beast. He's a machine, man. And with that chain, he is terrifying.
Using it to choke him like a... Has a taste, a lot of taste and chain, tasting his own blood. You'll notice too, this is pin and submission. Some
putting metal in the mouth of Durning, and his embraces, man, trying to break the teeth of Dick Durning, trying to cause some serious harm to Durning. This goes beyond wrestling. This is a fight. There is so much on the line here. There's so much honor. There's so much bad blood. There's been friendships thrown out the window. and something's got to give tonight, Kotsab.
This is finality written all over it. A dog collar. I think you mentioned that yourself earlier, Travis. Where do you go from here? Because I gotta think whoever wins this match has the other one in their rear view mirror for the foreseeable future.
Oh, what a headbutt from Dick Durning. Staggers Wesley Pipes, and from his knees, throwing shot. Letting you know that if my body gives, my heart will not. But Pipes, so quick to cut him off with that knee to the gut and using the chain.
Smart, and again, we talked earlier, using the chain, wrenching on that neck. It's like triple damage. You're getting
using the leverage of that chain to pull Dick Durning into a power slam. Almost looked like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat getting him over there.
Wesley Pipes telling Durning, get over here.
And you see Pipes now. What is he doing, Coach? Is he wrapping that chain around his leg? Bro, I don't think I've ever seen a chain-assisted leg drop.
Yeah. Like Al Simmons of Spawn using that chain as a weapon.
And choking Durning. I don't even think Pipes wants to do more than win. He wants to hurt Dick Durning. He wants to brutalize Dick Durning. That's why the last 7 months he's put him through so much hell. And again, this chain across the back. Normally I rely on you for the insight as an in-ring worker, but I don't think you've ever been in a dog collar match.
God, thank God. No, I haven't.
Yeah, so both of us unfamiliar with how that chain feels, man.
I'm going to tell you how it feels, Travis. Do you know what? Do you know what getting hit by a steel chain feels like?
I do not.
It feels like getting hit by a steel chain.
Well, no arguments there, touche. And nearly with the one-footed pin, Pipes almost retained. But again, we mentioned ring awareness. We mentioned how much these guys are veterans. 23 years, trained by the same two men, both students of Emile Dupree and Wayne Kreiderman. And they have each other scouted because they learn from the same men.
It's like if you compare it to combat sports such as MMA or boxing, it's like fighting against somebody from your training camp of 23 years.
That's a great point. It's like fighting someone from your same gym. And Pipes, so innovative with violence, man. Putting that chain in the corner, worked once, didn't work twice, though. That came back to bite him, and both men are down. I mentioned the great Emile Dupree. He was in the crowd firmly behind Dick here. I mentioned Emile Dupree. He was kind of the heart and soul of the maritime territories back in the territories days. And this is our territory. And both these men, they're fighting to be the face of this territory.
Fighting to be the face of this territory. Fighting for, in many ways, legacy of New Brunswick wrestling, maritime wrestling. It started with Emile Dupree, and here we are in 2026, two of his students going at it with a dog collar, a chain.
And you see that Uranagi into a backbreaker, but it's worth noting that chain was on Dick's knee as he connected. What is Gary Daniels doing? He's talking about me sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. What is this?
I, for one, am appalled that a manager would get involved.
I think he learned from the best. Anyways, Dick going for that bulldog to the ropes, but shoved into that middle turnbuckle.
Look where the chain is too, Travis.
Oh no.
You don't want to,
This is a precarious position for Durning. And Kotsab, it is a good thing Durning already has children.
I was about to say, it's a good thing Dryce and Devin have already been born.
Because that is probably the most unorthodox birth control I've ever seen. We mentioned how innovative Pipes is with violence, and he can always find new ways to hurt people, as we're seeing right now. And a pump kick sends the challenger into the ropes.
Oh, man. And what's Pettifer going to do? Tell his boss to stop?
Unfortunately, there's no rules. I'm disgusted by the actions of Gary Daniels, but there's nothing I can do. There's nothing Pettifer can do. And I don't want to evoke religious imagery, man, but Gary
stole a chair from somebody in the audience.
truly a general manager of the people, stealing a paid fan seat. But anyways,
I'm sure he's only borrowing it.
Of course. I don't want to evoke religious imagery. Dick in that crucifix in this church, and this is an unfortunate position to be in. Unprotected, able to kick that chair into the face of the muscle beast. And Dick has life.
Here's the thing with Dick. If he's got a heart beating, he will use his arms, his legs, his head, his torso, anything he's got to defend himself. Oh, look at this. How, in the words of Michael Scott, how the turntables turn.
We are seeing this in full effect here. That chair shot sends Pipes into the ropes, and what a blessing for Durning. Yeah, that's right. You chase Gary Daniels off. Get him out of here.
Gary Daniels with those sunglasses. This looks like something that would go on in his basement.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And a 10 count from the crowd for the 10 punches. And
is Pipes even conscious?
Pipes looking like a busted pipe leaking from his face. Saying one more time.
Durning looking for a microphone.
Bit of confusion here. Security Bubba now with the mic. Yeah. Dick's got something to say.
Yo, I'm gonna give you one chance to quit right now before I put you down for once and for all.
This isn't even an I quit match.
You're gonna have to kill me.
That's right. And an act of defiance.
So be it.
An act of defiance from our champion.
It's across his teeth.
Choking him with that chain. Pettiford's gonna have to make a judgment call here. Down goes the beast, St. John chance. This could be it. We might have a new champion. That's it, he's calling for it. Dick is champion. Dick is champion.
What a war.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.
If I was Gary Daniels, I'd be taking off.
Superstars of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Dick Durning!
Kotsab, what a lovely day for an exorcism. Dick Durning has vanquished the beast, the demon that was Wesley Pipes. And we have a new Superstars of Wrestling champion. Durning has done it. And I can't think of anyone better to represent this company going forward than Dick Durning. When I think of St. John Professional Wrestling, that is the first man I think of, and he is our champion.
It was, what, 7, 8 months ago. Durning wasn't even an active competitor. A series of back injuries had him on the shelf. Less than a year later, in a 23-year odyssey with Wesley Pipes, Dick Durning has vanquished the beast. His little girl, his baby girl, Devin.
A man of the people, a family man. You see his son Bryce, you see his daughter Devin, a beautiful sight celebrating with his family. And I know Emile Dupree is looking down somewhere, proud of his student. This is the kind of person he would want to represent maritime wrestling. I don't like Wesley Pipes, but it took attempted murder to put that man down.
Hey, and you know what? Props to Pipes. No heathens. Gary Daniels tried, but never did once touch Durning in that match.
This is true. And listen, for everything that's been done, not you, not Gary, not the Heathens, and not even Wesley Pipes can take away the fact that Dick Durning is the Superstars of Wrestling champion.